And if it wasn't for this school, I would probably be a dropout. I probably wouldn't even have a high school diploma, GED, and I would just repeat the cycle of failure that goes on in my family. But I broke out of it, I changed that.
This school just changed my life because there's actually people that really care.
Well, I think if I didn't get into Resiliency, I probably wouldn't have graduated high school.
Our students, for some reason, they come to us. And usually those reasons are because there's some hardship in their life, there's some struggles, there's some financial concerns, there may be some abuse or addiction in their past, and they need more. And if we don't give it to them, we'll be paying for them in some form or fashion for the rest of their lives. And they will not be able to compete in this world. So it's imperative that we do what we can right now to make sure that they have a chance when they leave us.
Before Resiliency, I was definitely mixed in with the wrong crowd. I wasn't going to class, I was failing, I wasn't doing any work, and I kind of just hit rock bottom on my own.
I was a big fighter. I wanted to fight everybody, and my freshman year, maybe like 3 weeks into the school, I got into a fight with someone, and the vice principal was trying to break it up, and I accidentally punched him. So there was like no way I was going to be able to get back into the school.
Before I came to Resiliency, I was kind of hectic. Got in trouble, fights, smoked a lot of weed, chilled with the wrong people.
I got real depressed because my grandma got cancer. All my brothers, most of my brothers were in jail. I have 7, 5 of them were in jail. I started doing real bad. I stopped going to school, skipping school, just hating everything and everyone.
When I first started high school, I probably had a 1.0 GPA.
Being bad was cool. I'm getting in trouble a lot. By the end of the first 2 weeks of school, my mother and the principal were on a first name basis. He had her number memorized. Around the end of freshman year, I got into a fight, and they brought me into the office, and Mr. Walker talked to me about the program. I decided to give it a chance.
The belief that kids are valuable and they can do it, and they can do it. As the alternative high school, we are the last stop on the train. After us, there's no place else for our students. We take that and we hold that to be, very, very, very important. So when a kid comes to us, and any kid, we don't deny kids, and anyone who comes, whether you've dropped out, you want to come back, whether you've been put out for guns or weapons or drugs, you start fresh when you're here.
I don't believe that kids are bad kids. I believe that kids make bad choices.
We have a different mission here. We're reintroducing kids to education and where it can take them. And learning about themselves and how they're going to relate to the world.
The program itself and Resiliency, what they offered me was a more stable environment. They kind of told me it was okay to be good. You didn't have to be bad to be cool.
Resiliency is a new start. It's a place to come with whatever baggage you have from other areas, from other schools, from home, from whatever. Bring it all here, and we're going to make the accommodations that you need and set you up in whatever pathway is best for you, because we want you to be successful. We want you to be career and college ready. That's kind of one other staple of who we are. We'll do what we can, we're here.
And here they don't mind helping you because they want you to get a good education. They want you to get good grades. Because if you get bad grades, it's more like they failed on their goal of being a good teacher.
A lot of what we do here, we tell the kids, when you're ready, this will happen. And we put the ownership on them, and we hold them accountable, and we have high expectations. However, we do offer supports if they need it to whatever their goal is. So when people say, these kids, I say, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't say these kids. They're people. They have an identity. They're individuals. And if you look at them individually, if you know them, if you know their stories, your whole perception changes.
So I started being positive and I seen the change. I seen that everything was just going well. Like they were helping me more. I started getting along with people. Because when I was like, I had a negative attitude towards school, everything just went wrong. And when I started switching up and doing good and being positive, everyone was just, I just got along with everyone so well. Like all the teachers, all the principals, they would trust me to do things, you know?
We always say that kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we really believe in that. That unless you have that relationship, the kids look at you and say, I don't care what you have to say. But once you walk into a room and they respect you, they're going to listen to what you have to say.
I think the kids know that they're accepted and cared for. I think they feel that they can be themselves in this building.
When you take a kid who hasn't had a lot of support from home or in the community growing up, okay, who hasn't had adults take an interest in him, and you put them in an environment where people truly care about these kids, they feel it.
As much as I was a fighter and, you know, didn't care about school, my conduct was horrible, like they still cared about me, they still believed in me, they still pushed me to my best ability, you know.
First of all, to give you a chance to really do your work. And if you were struggling, if you couldn't track a teacher down to help you, they made sure that teacher helped you. They used to send out weekly reports to our teachers.
You know, there's no screaming and yelling, there's no pointing fingers, there's no dragging kids down the hall, there's no making people feel bad about themselves, okay? So when you come into an environment like this, where we're all human beings, and we can all be civil to one another, and we all can care about one another, you form a real, true community.
This building is full of people who care, and that's what another thing I love. And the kids know it too.
You can tell when somebody cares about you because they listen to you.
We see the students being successful here because they have an investment, because they're invested in the staff, and because they see that we're invested in them.
My approach is really hands-on, and especially I like to provide each student with one-on-one time at some point in our 45 minutes together. Really like to have the opportunity to connect with them and to let them know who I am so that I can learn who they are.
Everyone here is like really close. Everyone here knows each other on a first name basis because it's a small school. So like if I need to talk to someone about something, I can just go to them and talk to them and they'll give me advice about it.
You know, the kids know that they can be heard, and I think that starts from the top. It trickles down.
Forming relationships with the students is key. And the job doesn't stop at 5 o'clock. You need to keep your phone open. You need to keep communication lines open.
Like Miss Manning and Mr. Walker were so supportive and really gave me every reason to do well. I mean, I'm still in touch with Miss Manning. I graduated 4 years ago almost. She would be the first person I would call if I needed someone. And it's just really good to have bonds like that. And I don't think I would have gotten that if I wasn't in Resiliency.
I formed really good relationships with Mr. Walker, Mrs. Manning, Ms. Correa, all my teachers I have really good relationships with. That has a big impact on me, and that's a lot of why I'm in college right now, you know. I had their support to get me to where I needed to be.
It's not so much a program as it is a family.
Miss Manning and Mr. Walker, they were like your parents in school.
They don't let you slack.
They expected me to get the grades that they knew I was capable of getting, most definitely, and they made sure that I did.
They don't need our pity. You know, they don't need our low expectations, they don't need our excuses. We hold them to high expectations. We hold them after school if they need to be held after school. We hold them on Saturdays if they need to be held on Saturdays. We expose them to new places and new ideas. We do retreats with kids where we have a point system and the kids receive so many points for what they do good. We try not to catch them always doing bad. We try to catch them doing good and reward them for it. And those students are able to earn retreats. Skiing, we do camping, we do hiking, whitewater rafting.
My first retreat was whitewater rafting. They told me we're going whitewater rafting. I'm like, what is that? I didn't know, because I didn't really, like I said, I came from a poor family. We didn't really do much.
They've also been on probably 10 to 15 college campuses by the time they graduate, so they can see that this is not a place where it's, you know, like an outer space. It's real, it's attainable.
I want to go to Black Hill State, that's in South Dakota, because Mr. Walker's daughter goes there.
It's all about the exposure and saying, having them picture, well, maybe I can do that.
You just get used to feeling good and doing your work, and once you get into that habit, it's kind of hard to break it.
I think still to this day, some of the things I learned from Mr. Walker and Miss Manning, or from being in Resiliency in high school, I hold on to and I carry with me just sometimes, because you need those lessons to get through the day-to-day struggles, the day-to-day stresses of life.
If I didn't come to Resiliency and I stayed at Durfee, I don't even know where I'd be. I think I'd be expelled and not be able to go to no school at all.
We have 43 graduates this past year. Every single one of them would have dropped out if not for this program.
I ended up applying to, I think, 10 schools, and I got into 9 of them. So that was a really good feeling. I go to Salem State University right now, and I'm going to graduate in May with a degree in criminal justice and a minor in social work. I want to go back for my master's in social work. I know that I'm interested in helping troubled youth, like kind of from my experiences and the experiences of my friends. It just made me really interested in that. So that's my plan.
I went to school, I graduated with my degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing. I'm hopeful that I can really try to start a career in marketing and business with the fields I went to school for.
I'm just gonna focus in school and do what I wanna do. Because what I wanna do, I wanna help people. Like, I wanna be a social worker. Like, I wanna help young kids that have problems like me. And I'm the first one to graduate. Like, I'm the only one that has a diploma. Like, that feels good. That feels like my older brothers look up to me, and I'm the younger sister. I wanna be the first one to like have a college degree. Like, I want somebody to come up to me and tell me, you know, I look up to you because of everything you've done. I can't wait.
When I first started high school, I probably had a 1.0 GPA, and when I left, I had a 3.0 or above. It was definitely a dramatic change. I started to work at a preschool and working with kids, which is the field that I intend to get into.
My grades are way better. I have all A's and B's. I haven't been getting in trouble, and I want to go into the NFL. I think I can do it. But keep my mind on my goal and get good grades, go to college. I'm saying try to get a sponsor, a scholarship or something like that.
I'm now a freshman at Salem State University. My family, there's no high school graduates, you know, so I'm like the first in my family to graduate and have college experience. I've always wanted to go to school, I just never thought I could get there, you know. Like, I'm going to school to be a history teacher, to come work here. Because of the impact they had in my life, I want to be able to change a student that was like me. You know, I want them to believe that there's a whole different world outside of Fall River.
Resiliency to me is like family.
Uplifting.
Awesome.
Life-changing.
Life-changing.
It's a metamorphosis.
That's the word right there, resiliency.